Yo, it's Brian here. Today, gonna be talking about the San Francisco 49ers. As always, doing my edge-to-edge video for this game happening against the Cleveland Browns next Monday Night Football. So this should be an exciting matchup. I've been waiting for this for a long time, ever since the offseason began. Cleveland Browns, they have a lot of hype coming into the season. So far, right now, they've been living up to the hype. Early on, weeks 1 to 2, they were definitely not living up to the hype, especially the game against the Titans. They got destroyed in that game. But now they're looking like they're the team to be very fearful of, because they had a really good win against the Baltimore Ravens, their division rivals. So that's a pretty good win for them. And yeah, this is going to be an awesome matchup, hopefully. 49er fans, Cleveland fans, hope you guys are ready for this. I definitely am. And let's just have some fun in this video. Remember, 49er Browns fans, this is just my opinions, and my opinions only on this edge-to-edge series. If you're new to my channel, this is where I talk about quarterback versus quarterback, defensive line versus defensive line, pretty much talent-wise, who's more talented and who I think is going to be better coming into the matchup next week. This is not a thing where I talk about offensive line versus defensive line. That is going to be for a video for this week coming up another day. So if you're looking for that, this is not the video. Please come back this week. But yep, this should be fun. Hope you guys do enjoy this. And yeah, remember, this is my opinion. So if you get upset, then I can't really do anything about that. I'm sorry, I guess. But yeah, don't get upset, because, don't be like Tampa Bay fans, Cleveland fans, if you're watching this, because, oh man, they thought I was crazy. They thought I was biased. They thought Jameis was better than Jimmy Garoppolo. And well, that didn't really turn out well. So please don't do that. Please, if you disagree with me, please give me your reasons why. Be respectful in the comments, and we can have some fun talking about this, because I'm excited for this matchup. So yep, there you have it, you guys. 49ers, Cleveland, who has the edge position by position. Before I get the video started, please like and subscribe. That's going to help me out a lot. And let's just get into it right now. Okay, first off, let's talk about the offensive side of the ball, every single position. So quarterback versus quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo versus Baker Mayfield. Who am I going to go with for the edge? Who I think is going to be better for this game, in my opinion. So let's see. Jimmy Garoppolo has a pretty up and down time in San Francisco, mostly up, but a little bit down as well. He's been turning the ball over just a little bit, but at the same time, he's been really in sync with his receivers. And if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, I don't know if you heard any of these receivers before, maybe Deebo Samuel, the rookie guy, but other than that, in the national media, the 49ers receivers aren't really that known. But hey, I'll talk about that in a second. Baker Mayfield, he's having a pretty good year, in my opinion, although his offensive line has been beat up, and he hasn't been performing well because of that, because he's a talented quarterback. A lot of people call him overrated, but I don't think he's overrated. He had a really good last couple of games last year, and I think that's the potential that he has for the rest of his career in Cleveland or wherever he plays in the NFL. It's just kind of like Jimmy Garoppolo, same boat with him. In 2017, he had a really good couple of games, and that was the potential that he can bring to the 49ers franchise. And so far, he's been kind of living up to it this year, and Baker, I think he can live up to it if they can shore up the offensive line. So yeah, who am I going to go with for this game? Talent for talent, quarterback versus quarterback. If I had to go with a team, or quarterback specifically, I would probably go with Jimmy Garoppolo with just a slight edge. I mean, some of you guys probably think I'm crazy, but Jimmy, he's been balled out in my opinion. Yes, he had a couple of turnovers against the Steelers, but at the same time, they were mostly botched snaps. They weren't anything, to be like, oh my God, they force fumbled the ball or anything like that. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Jimmy just a little bit, and also Baker. As I said, his offensive line isn't really that good. Our defensive line can get to the quarterback, and they've been doing a really good job for the past couple of weeks, and this bye week should definitely help them out. So slight edge to Jimmy Garoppolo, but really because Baker's offense is not that good, and he might be running for his life. Maybe, but you never know. So slight edge, Jimmy. Running backs, interesting choice. So they have Nick Chubb in Cleveland. If you don't know, he's a really good running back, cousin of Bradley Chubb, the guy from Denver Broncos. I think he tore his ACL, unfortunately, so it is what it is. Hopefully he heals up well. If he did tore his ACL, that's what I heard on the news. Running backs, we have Matt Breida. Tevin Coleman should be coming back. We got Kyle Juszczyk as the fullback, Raheem Mostert, and Jeff Wilson. Those guys, they are amazing. So if I had to give an edge, definitely got to give it to the 49ers, because running back by committee, it has been successful for the past couple of games. And the biggest difference, man, has to be Jeff Wilson for pounding those touchdowns and the goal line, and he's the guy to ensure a touchdown when a drive is going really far. So, I love me some Nick Chubb. He did a really good job for the game against the Ravens, and he's been a really good running back ever since coming into the league. But, when you have that many running backs, that many rotational guys, I think that gives you an edge. And, if something happens to one of these backs, then we can just replace them and they'll do well as well. So let's say Breida, something happened to him, which I hope nothing happens to him, but if we have if something does happen to him, then we have either Wilson or Mostert to carry the load, and that's the good thing about having a running back by committee. So edge 49ers, just because they have a lot of depth within it. So wide receiver, tight end group, this is going to be very interesting. Pass catching wideouts right here. 49ers, we got some notable guys. Jalen Hurts should be making his debut against the Browns. Deebo Samuel, he's a really good rookie. Jimmy's having a lot of rapport with him. Marquise Goodwin, George Kittle, all those guys, also Richie James. They're a really good collective group. They're not like as well known as Odell Beckham or Jarvis Landry, but at the same time, they can get the job done. And that's what I like about this 49er receiving core. All right, so wide receivers for the Browns, as I mentioned, Odell, Jarvis Landry, you got Rashard Higgins. Pretty good squad, I would say. If you're talking about star power, definitely got to give it to the Cleveland Browns. And actually, to be honest with you, maybe I'll give it to the Cleveland Browns for both wide receivers and tight ends. I know I don't pick the 49ers wide receivers as much for the edge. I think the only time I did that was against the Tampa Bay Bucks. But I think with the talent that they have on the wideout position for the Cleveland Browns, I think it's really good. Some people might call Odell Beckham overrated, but when he's in the zone, he is in the zone. Also, Jarvis Landry, as I mentioned, he is a really good, reliable pass catcher as well. A lot of receptions, man. So got to give him a lot of credit for that. I really wanted him in the draft a couple of years ago, but hey, he's not with us. So for me personally, with the star power and the players, the moves that they can do, the one-handed catches that they can do, and it's actually legit one-hand catches, I think that's a really good slight edge for the receivers for the Cleveland Browns, and we'll see if Baker Mayfield can have some more rapport with them, because they struggled just a little bit early on this season, but they look like they're getting their flow back. So slight edge, wide receiving group, going to give it to the Cleveland Browns wide receiver. Although the 49ers, you can't take them unseriously. You have to take them kind of seriously because they've been producing as well if you have been watching the 49ers stuff. Last up for this whole edge-to-edge offensive side of the ball, going to be going with the offensive line. I mean, obviously, I got to give the edge to the 49ers offensive line. Cleveland's offensive line is not that good. They've been letting Baker get beat up this whole time, and that's not good. Although they did a pretty good job against the Ravens, but just as a whole season, they just haven't been really good for protection and what have you to Baker. 49ers, on the other hand, they've been pretty good in protecting Jimmy. I think he only has 2 sacks under his belt. He did get a couple of hits against the Steelers, but other than that, they've been a pretty good offensive line, and also they can run the ball. That's a good thing for the 49ers. The Browns, they could do that as well, but just in terms of protecting the quarterback, just everything in general, I have to give it to the 49ers offensive line. And yeah, we'll see if Cleveland can replicate the same performance like they did against the Ravens. But other than that, I'm going to be giving it to the 49ers because of their reliability and their sample size so far as a whole season. So that's it for the offensive line. Got quarterback 49ers, running back 49ers, receiving core / tight end, going to give it to the Cleveland Browns. Offensive line, going to give it to the 49ers right here, right now. Okay, time for the more interesting side of the ball, the defense. All right, defensive line versus defensive line, talent for talent. Who am I going to go with for the edge? Very tough one. This is probably the hardest one in my opinion. I've been saying that for the past couple of weeks, but some defensive lines we've been playing, they've been pretty good in my opinion. The Bengals, they had Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap. I thought they were pretty good, but I don't know. They've been struggling a little bit on the defensive side of the ball. But Cleveland, the quarterback, they can get to it definitely. I mean, look at the talent that they have. Myles Garrett, one of the top defensive ends in the NFL. Sheldon Richardson, Olivier Vernon, the guy that they got from the New York Giants in a trade. So they have awesome talent within it, and they're top 5 in sacks and getting to the quarterback. Our defensive line, if you don't know, if you're a Browns fan, you got Eric Armstead, Ronald Blair, DeForest Buckner, Nick Bosa, D Ford, Sheldon Day, Julian Taylor, Solomon Thomas too. I mean, that's a lot of depth that we have, not just on starters, but also bench players as well. So that's a really amazing talent right there. But if I could go talent for talent, edge to edge, I would actually give it to the Cleveland Browns slight edge. I know this is the first time I don't pick the 49ers for defensive line. I would definitely, but I think with their ability to get to the quarterback and their ability to just punish the quarterback, put a lot of pressure in it, I think that's going to be a big edge. And also they've been not leading the league, but they've been in the top 5 in terms of sacks and getting pressure to the quarterback. So got to give the slight edge to Cleveland, although the 49ers, they're not behind at all. So slight edge, got to give it to the Cleveland Browns defensive line. Linebacking core, this is going to be interesting as well. The Cleveland Browns, they don't really have any proven guys in terms of Pro Bowl, all-pro guys. They got Malik Jefferson, Adarius Taylor, Mac Wilson. Those guys, they're not too bad. But for me personally, I got to go with the linebacking core for the 49ers. You got Quan Alexander, Fred Warner, Mark Menoncho for Deb, Dre Greenlaw. Those guys, they have been amazing for the 49ers so far, especially Quan. I mean, I can talk about this guy all day, and I probably will for a little bit if you're a Browns fan. Quan, he's came from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a free agent, signed to a 5-year contract, and so far the dividends have been paying off. He's been flying around. If you haven't watched any tape of him, please watch some tape of him as a 49er. It's been amazing. People complaining that he wasn't the best tackler in Tampa, which was kind of true, but right now in San Francisco, he's been flourishing perfectly, and he's been going side to side. And if you want to get through the middle, if you want to run the ball, Nick Chubb, if you want to go down the field, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, go to Quan Alexander, because this guy can get to you quickly. So, him, making the big difference in San Francisco, not just D Ford and Nick Bosa, but also in the middle. Got to give a lot of credit to number 56. So for the edge for me, going to be going with the 49ers for Quan and Fred Warner. Those guys, they've been amazing for us so far, and I think they're going to have a big day game this week or next Monday. Defensive back, this is where it gets very, very confusing because both teams are riddled by injuries on the defensive backfield. For us, San Francisco, Jimmy Ward, he's been out for a little bit. Akella Witherspoon's going to be out for a month now. That's a big loss. He's been amazing. Shut down cornerback this year. Last year, that wasn't the case, but this year, he's been amazing. He's been flourishing well, and then he gets hurt. Oh, that kind of sucks, but we still have a pretty good squad, I would say. We got Richard Sherman, Uncle Sherman. A lot of people call him overrated or crazy or something like that, but shoot, man, he is still performing really well for the 49ers, and I don't know what the wash-up thing is coming up from, but hey, I guess it's kind of understandable because he's getting up there in age, but still, intelligent quarterback, and that's probably why he is one of the best corners in the NFL, is because of his intelligence and his play as well. Also, our safety spot, we got Jaquaski Tarvarius Moore, got some nice depth like Anton Exum and Quan Williams. He got that nice interception against the Pittsburgh Steelers, so not too bad of a defensive backfield, although losing Witherspoon does hurt immensely. Who are they going to replace him with? Are they going to replace him with Jason Verrett or Emmanuel Mosley? So there's a lot of questions there that I will probably talk about during the week. Defensive backs for the Cleveland Browns, they've been beat up as well. Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams, they were not available on Sunday against the Ravens. I don't know if they're going to be available for the 49ers, but I don't know who to go with for this. This is actually kind of difficult because, you have banged up squads and it hurts quite a bit for both teams. But if I had to give an edge, I might give a slight edge to the 49ers just because they've been able to take the ball away definitely. And also, Uncle Sherman, he's been mentoring these guys and they've been flourishing definitely this year. Also, having Joe Woods as your defensive backs coach, that really helps out a lot for the 49ers. And Cleveland Browns fans, please watch some 49ers defensive back tapes. They've been really, really good this year, a much improvement from 2018. So I recommend you watch it. And yeah, I'm going to give the edge to the 49ers in terms of defensive backs. Special team / coaching, this is probably obvious for you guys. Special teams going to give it to the 49ers just because Robbie Gould, Mitch Wishnowsky, those guys, they're the best kicker / punter combo in the NFL. In my opinion, Gould is still reliable, although he's been missing some really easy field goals. But at the same time, if you need a clutch kick, if it goes down to the wire, I can trust Robbie Gould. Wishnowsky, he's been punting the ball really, really well as a rookie, so can't really say anything about that. Cleveland, not too bad as well, but coaching, definitely got to give it to Kyle Shanahan over Freddie Kitchens. Freddie Kitchens, I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of him coaching, but at the same time, he's an unproven coach. He's only coached a couple of games. He hasn't been playing calling that much, so he's very inexperienced. Kyle Shanahan, he's been play calling for a long time now, not just as a head coach, but as an offensive coordinator as well. So you talk about the offensive side of the ball, the intricacies, gosh, I cannot speak, intricacies of the offense. Kyle is like the best at it, so really you have to give the edge to Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers. So really, I gave a lot of the edges to the 49ers, but I'm really liking my team right now. You might think I'm being biased, but don't look at me, man. The 49ers, they're 3-0 right now. They've been playing really, really well. They've been balling out, and that's probably the reason why I've been giving all these edges to the 49ers. Although Cleveland, they have a very good squad in my opinion. Don't think I'm giving the edge to the 49ers that they're totally better than the Browns. No, that's not the case. I'm just doing a slight edge, what I think, based on, like running backs. We have more people in the running back position that are really good. Defensive linemen, they have less in terms of talent, I guess, than the 49ers in terms of depth, but at the same time, they can get to the quarterback, so that's why I give the edge to the Cleveland Browns. So really, this is just my opinions, and my opinions only. If you disagree, then I guess you disagree. I can't really change your opinion or anything like that, but this is just me speaking. So, yep, that's pretty much it, you guys. Wanted to do this real quick. Hope you guys did enjoy this. Going to be predicting the game tomorrow. That should be interesting, and also going to be doing matchup versus matchup coming this week. So, yep, that's it, guys. Please let me know which edge you're going to give to each position. Please let me know in the comments below. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. That's going to help me out a lot. I'll be catching you guys up tomorrow on Tuesday. I'll see y'all then. Bye, guys. Love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your night. Go Niners all day.